Hello everybody, today is like June, maybe 6 or something like that. I'm kind of tired, so if you see me slurring, it is what it is. So, it's been crazy here. I've been busy at work, day in and day out, just zero, like barely any sleep, so it is, yeah. Anyway, today's video, I decided to make this video today because, I'm deciding to make like a part 2 to the video previous to this one. And the reason for that is because some thoughts were left out, some notes were left out, and I noticed some more stuff that needed to be addressed. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry about the video before this one. There was a lot of editing I needed to do, like with myself. So you heard a lot of other noises that weren't supposed to be heard, but I don't really care. Anyway, please check out my Rumble. Please check out my other websites where I have other videos in bitchute.com. I can't really say that word, but you can spell it out and type it in and figure out where my channel is using the internet, and then you can type my channel, EmyyWolf, just like my YouTube. Anyway, I hope you're having a good weekend or a good week or whatever it is that you're doing, right? It is what it is. We can't do much about this, but yeah, I decided that now in my videos we're gonna expose male nature because even though I'm aware of a lot of things nowadays, like past the ages of 24, 25, 26, and 27, the veil was lifted. I became hyper aware. I became like unbrainwashed. I've been unbrainwashed and I've just been awakened, right? I took the red pill of reality, okay? Especially when it comes to dating and relationships and such. Like I took the red pill of waking up to relationships. So, today we're gonna make the part 2 to the video we made before, like the video prior to this one, okay? So if you want to see that video, I'll leave like a timestamp or a card, or it'll be in the description or something like that. But the video before this one was titled, Older Women Are Jealous of Younger Women. So you can look that video up by its title, or check out the description or whatever. But it was Older Women Are Jealous of Younger Women, and it's a pretty long video if you want to go check that one out. But today is part 2 of that video. However, the title of this video is Women Don't Know Who Men Are. So this is what we're gonna talk about today because this needs to be addressed in a fashion that is more descriptive and cited with like proof and all this shit. Anyway, if you hear me coughing or making weird sounds, it's because I don't talk this much. And like I don't talk this much, so it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna start off with how, for a fact, like women don't know who men are. And that's just the topic of this video. I don't know how long this video will be, but again, I'll try to speed it up or whatever it is that I can do to make this video faster for you. But the fact of the matter is that women don't know who men are. And I'm going to leave some resources down below, maybe some links, maybe some other videos to educate you on the nature of a man if you're a woman. But like I said in like the many videos before this one, on many of my other channels, or I've said it in the video prior to this one, but I basically said that women are obsessed with men as a species, as a creature, while men are not obsessed with women. Men are obsessed with sex. And this is going to be a controversial video, by the way, but yeah. This is stuff that no one knows, okay? We've been fed as a society. We've been fed, like, Disney movies. We've been fed fantasies. We've been fed religion. We've just been fed every form of stupidity for ages. We've been fed nonsense, if you really think about it. Like, this whole princess idea and religion and all that was made for, like, to enslave women in relationships with men. And again, I don't believe in relationships. Like heterosexual relationships, I don't believe in them. There's too many reasons why I don't believe in them. I don't know if I'll list them out here, but right now I don't have any notes. I'm just gonna speak on my own observations and my own experiences from what I'm seeing. And you can watch this one YouTuber called Princella or whatever her name is. You can watch some of the other channels I listed in the video before, which was Wifey Edit, and the other one was called The Sovereign Woman. But yeah, like, I'm gonna leave some resources, okay? But the fact of the matter is that men are very perverted creatures to an extent that women don't understand. They're very demonic creatures to a level that women don't understand. And the reason women are so brainwashed in the sense that they don't understand any of this is because we see the everyday family. We see like the dad and the mom and the kids, right? We see these like households with the dad and the mom and the kids, right? We are not supposed to live like that, by the way. That type of dynamic is very dangerous. That type of dynamic could cause child grape from the father. It doesn't matter if it's a biological father or a stepfather. Biological fathers can stop themselves a lot of the time from committing child SA because they acknowledge that it's their own seed. They acknowledge that it's their own biological offspring. But a lot of the times I think that they wish they could. And it appears as though it looks like they wish they could. So I believe the setup of a father, mom, and children together is a terrible setup. I don't think that males should be housed with females. Whenever you adopt animals, for example, when you have like a pet lizard, the pet stores, like the people in the pet stores that know like a lot about these animals and how they operate. They tell you never house the males with the females. Like if you buy a lizard, like let's say you buy a female lizard, they'll always tell you never house a female lizard with a male lizard because the female lizard is going to be stressed out, and obviously the male lizard is going to try to reproduce with the female lizard often. Like even after they reproduce, if like they do reproduce and once she's in the season of laying eggs, the male lizard is still going to want to reproduce with her and stress her out. So the people like in the pet stores will always tell you never house females with males unless your idea is to actually reproduce them. So I believe this is how the human species operates as well. We should not be housed with males. It can be very, very dangerous. This is where you can get a lot of the domestic abuse cases, a lot of the physical violence on the females. This is where you get all that child rape cases, and it's a terrible, terrible idea and a terrible setup, of which I don't know who the hell invented it or who the hell came up with it. It's been said that the reason this setup is like this now is because they mass-produced males back in the day so they could send them to wars and they could conquer territory, and they could steal resources from other territories and other regions and other nationalities and other nations. So they mass-produced males so that they could be sent off to these wars and they could conquer and all this stuff. But then we had an excess of males, and because they couldn't keep these males in the wars or keep them in the prisons, well, then they decided to come up with all these ideas of marriage and all this stuff to house them with females. So then they came up with the idea of a man needs a woman and every man needs a woman, right? And that's basically when they started hoarding the resources away from the women and starving the women so that the women will have no choice but to choose just any unselect and marry him and reproduce with him, right? And that's what, we see today, but I don't think this is how we were supposed to live. I believe the actual nature of a woman is to be with like one stud of a man, right? And how maybe you could house her and multiple females in that house with that one stud, right? But this is not what you see, and that's how it should be. This is how it should have been for all of human history. The setup we have now of a man and a woman in the house with the children is very unnatural. It's very dangerous, and we should have never been like this, but this is how it is now. Anyway, the reason today's video is titled Women Don't Know Who Men Are is because women actually don't know who men are. For example, women don't understand the amount of testosterone that is in the average man. Like all women in all of the world, like all women worldwide don't understand the insane amount of testosterone that is in the average man walking the damn street, okay? Women don't understand what that is like. They don't understand the unbelievable thoughts that can go through the average man's head due to the testosterone. Like they don't understand the thoughts that are running through the man's head, because the fact of the matter is that women are not men. So women actually can't know who men are, right? We can study them, we can see their everyday behavior, but we actually don't know who they are. Like we would have to have a male brain to know who they are. But the fact of the matter is that men have a male brain that women will never understand, ever. And this is something my father told me when I was like a teenager. He told me that you will never understand the male brain. You will never understand how demonic that it is because you're a woman. And this is something I'm going to tell my audience, is that you guys will never understand the male brain because you are a woman. First of all, the male brain doesn't operate like the female brain. The female brain has the waves in the brain. Women use both hemispheres of the brain, like when there are the brain doesn't move, but there are like waves in the brain. And when women are thinking or whatever, we use both hemispheres. We use the creative side and the logical side. And the waves move from side to side, all through the brain, right? Males, on the other hand, their brain doesn't, like the waves in their brain don't move like that. Their waves move from front to back, and they don't use both hemispheres. They use the logical hemisphere and less of the creative hemisphere. So this is just stuff that no woman knows. They don't understand that their brains are built completely different to theirs. Most women think that, men look human and I look human, so they must be just as human as I am. When, even though they look human, they look like your kind, they look like your species. The truth is that you don't understand what's in their head. You don't understand that their brain is entirely different to you. So this is what all women worldwide don't freaking understand. They don't understand how men can commit all this rape, all this trafficking. They don't understand how men can commit all this murder and genocide and all this stuff. Because they think that men are like them. They think that, oh my God, I'm a woman. I would never do any of this stuff. I don't understand how they could do any of that stuff. That stuff is so wicked and evil and vile. Yeah, luckily there's only a small number of them that do any of that wicked stuff, right? But they don't understand that men do those type of things because their brains are kind of built for wickedness. Like their brains are built to withstand serious trauma and serious depravity. Like their brains are built for wars and fighting and stuff like that. You women need to start understanding that their brain is entirely different to you. Entirely different. You are seeing a completely different being, okay? I don't care if it looks human. Like, the fact is, its brain is built entirely different to yours, okay? Their brain is not like yours, okay? This is also why Princella, that YouTuber, says that men are not made for love. They don't understand love. They are not built for love. Like, everyone, she even says that everyone has a different definition of what love is. Like, the only thing that is considered love is what a mother feels for its offspring. And that's about it. Like, that's the only definition of love. But this other fairy tale bullshit they told you about dating and mating and how we reproduce, that's not love at all. Like, men are incapable of love. Like Princella said, they're not capable of it because their brains were never built for that type of dynamic. Their brains were never built for that type of situation. So they can't understand love. They can only understand conquer and control. Conquer and control. Now, when we go back to talking about these Disney movies and these religions, that's exactly what they were that's exactly what they were built for. They were designed to conquer the minds of women. They were designed to conquer the minds of all women worldwide, okay? They were never designed for the male brain. They were designed for the female brain, okay? And that's another thing all women worldwide don't understand. They don't understand that men know us more than we know them. I repeat, men know women and their mindset more than we know them and their mindset. And this is stuff they would never, ever in the history of the human species want exposed. This is stuff they'd never want exposed. Okay, I repeat, males know females more than females know males. And this is why males have constructed all these Disney fantasies. They have constructed all these religions to keep females in a world of fantasy. All religions are in a world of fantasy. Disney movies are in a world of fantasy. Okay, they also create these like romance movies so that women are in a state of fantasy. Another thing they do is they sing like love songs so that women believe in a fantasy. Marriage is a fantasy, okay? All this stuff I just mentioned was made to conquer women and to brainwash women, okay? It is what it is. And like the truth is, the male brain is not built for relationships and love and romance. It's not built for any of that. It was never built for that in all of humankind and all of the human history. Like, all of the human history and none of the human history was the male brain ever designed for any sort of romance ever. The woman brain was, okay? The women's brain, okay? So I just want women to understand more and more that your brain is completely different to a man's brain, always was. Just because they look human doesn't mean that they are like you. A lot of women operate in this like mindset that, man, every human must have a mind like mine. They must have a brain like me. But they don't, okay? Women are more likely to have a brain like other women, but all women have a completely different brain from males, and this can be seen in MRIs. This can be seen when you study them. You can see that the brain waves from male to female differ. The brain size of males and females differ, okay? You can notice how women utilize both hemispheres of the brain while males use only one. You can see that testosterone has a greater size in males than females. This can be studied and proven, okay? And this is why I'm saying that all these Disney movies, all these romance movies were built to keep women in a state of fantasy, and religion as well was built to keep women in a state of fantasy. And this is why men know women more than women know men. Women don't actually know men. So it's insane. It's insane that women don't actually know men. Like, a lot of the time women think they can keep a man when no woman on the face of the planet can actually keep a man. If you think you can keep a man, you're probably thinking about a simp, not an actual man. I'm talking about like the Superman types, the Brad Pitt types, the ones that women actually want to reproduce with. Like, you're talking about the bottom of the barrel males. Is that who you're talking about? Because it's very easy for any woman to keep those sort of males in their vicinity, because those males usually are zero quality, right? So they are desperate for sex, and women will hold sex over their head. So yeah, most women can keep an incel. Most women can keep a simp, for sure. But males in their nature, like, I'm not talking about simps and these down bad males. I'm talking about males in their nature are not designed to be kept, okay? That's ridiculous. And let me tell you something about marriage. Marriage originally was for the royals. It wasn't for us, the peasants. It was designed only for the royals, like those are very, very high class, for the kings and the queens and the princesses. It was designed for them. It was not designed for just anyone, okay? Number one. Number two, it was designed to trap the female. It was designed to enslave the female who was the princess or the queen or whatever, right? That's what marriages were designed. It was so that they know that their offspring is royal and of royal blood. And that's it. That's pretty much it, okay? At the end, like, marriage is a fantasy. It's a literal made-up fantasy. Like, for a marriage to even be taken serious, they had to, like, give proof that the female was actually a virgin before she got married, right? They had to sell her away, sell her virginity away to her new husband, right? They had to show proof that she was a virgin. Like, that's why a lot of the times they married them, like, at the age of, like, 16 and 15. So This stuff is very wicked and was designed to control women. It was designed to conquer women, right? Because women are a resource. Women have a womb. Us women, we have the power to bring existence into this plane. We have the power of, we are a portal into this plane. Okay, like women are the value, women are the resources. This is why men have wars, and when they win wars, they conquer all the women, they rape all the women. Like, this is what takes place because women have the value, males don't. Males in excess, like I said, in the caveman days, when males were in excess, the Brad Pitts would take care of all of them. Like, they would get rid of all of them, if you understand what I mean. They would eliminate them. So this is how it is, guys. Like like marriage is a fantasy, Disney is a fantasy, all this romance movies is a fantasy designed to keep women in a world of fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, the male brain was never designed for romance. It was never designed for any of this love talk. Okay, they're not capable of that. If anything, the brain is completely different, like entirely different. The thoughts that go through a man's brain are insane compared to what a woman would ever think about. The testosterone levels in a man is like beyond wicked. Like, males were built to fight. Okay, that's just the truth for the most part. They're designed for fighting, they're designed for war, they're designed to, like, I guess, like, protect a family and stuff like that. They're designed for sex, for constant everyday sex. They're designed to go for, like, different women and seek variety of women. That's what they were designed for. This is the reason for the insane amounts of testosterone in their body, you know. But this is just stuff women are not willing to hear. And I feel like deep down, a lot of women acknowledge this, but they want to live in a fantasy. Like, whenever you're out and about and there's a couple, you would see that when a prettier woman walks into that shop, the woman who's in the relationship, she will notice that there's a prettier woman in there, and she would instantly touch her man somewhere on his body. Like, she would touch him on his belly, or she would rub his neck. As soon as this female sees that there's a better quality female in that shop, she instantly touches her man somewhere, either on the neck, either on the stomach, either on the back. But she touches him to, like, give like a signal to the other woman, this is my man, or give a signal to the man, you better not look at that other woman that's in the shop. But that gives everyone, like, a sign that women deep down know the nature of men. Like, even though they don't want to admit it, they don't want to tell it to themselves, they want to live in a fantasy, deep down they know that their husband would cheat in a fucking heartbeat. Like, that's what it's telling everyone, that even though women are for a fact living in a pretend fantasy, that they, like, low-key know the nature of a man, that it's to go for variety, and more often than not, these men can't go for that variety because they're low quality. The next thing I want to talk about is how men know women. So men, even in their insane brains filled with wickedness and depravity and unbelievable levels of testosterone, they see all these Disney movies, they see all these love songs, they see all of this pretend romance that women are obsessed with. So men will give women this fantasy, especially if a man wants to sleep with a woman, he will give her this pretend fantasy that he actually doesn't believe in, that he's not capable of. So because women are so obsessed with this fantasy and so obsessed with the acknowledgement of a man, they give women this fantasy. They give them the ring, the wedding, they buy them stupid idiotic shit to prove to them that, you know, that males are capable of love, capable of romance, and all of this pretend shit. And women, this is how they conquer women a lot of the time, because women are so in this fantasy of marriage and Disney and religion. They are so in that fantasy that men know a lot of the time how to play pretend with the woman and conquer her, because his main goal is to pass his seed. So a lot of males, and I would say even most males, know how to conquer women with this pretend theater, with this pretend acting that they know how to do. Because the fact is that a male's brain was never designed for romance, it was never designed for love, and never designed to understand any of that stupid shit that women are obsessed with. Never ever was it designed for that at all, right? It was designed for war, it was designed for fighting, it was designed to be in every which way obsessed with sex and obsessed with variety and obsessed with sleeping with as many women as they possibly can in their existence. That's what the male brain was designed for. Males, especially males in relationships, every day they're fighting against their natural instincts every single day. Imagine how difficult it is for a man to fight his natural urges in an insane way. You would have to fight your urges insanely, okay? And a woman, his wife, would have to literally sleep with him every single day so that his load is taken care of on the daily, you know? But again, this would be like eating pizza every day for the rest of your life, you know? You can't eat burgers, you can't eat chicken, you can't eat grapes, nothing else but pizza every day for the rest of your life, because the male brain sees women as some sort of food, as some sort of buffet. Like, you need Jessica on day 1, but you need Stephanie on day 2. This is how the male brain sees women and sex, okay? They're not designed to be with one woman, right? And women are obsessed with staying with one man because they've been fed the Disney fantasy. But also, I believe women should be with, like, one Brad Pitt and reproducing with him. You know, because women, actually, on the other hand, women were designed to pass the best genes. So women are supposed to close their legs as much as possible and only pass down the best genes, the best quality. That's it, and that's all. That's what women were designed for, you know? But this is what it is. Like, men in relationships, a lot of the time, like most of the time, they're playing pretend. Women don't know that they're playing pretend. Women don't know that their brains are literally not built for romance, literally not built for any love. Men know that women don't know this, so men know how to play pretend. They know how to act, they know how to behave, and they know what to do a lot of the time to stay in that woman's life and have constant everyday access to sex. But in real nature, in real life, men are not supposed to have constant everyday access to sex at all. Like in real life, if we're actually talking about reality and nature and biology, men are not supposed to, especially these low quality ones. The only ones that are designed to have everyday constant access to sex and multiple women are these Brad Pitt types, these Superman types, these studs, these so-called chads. That's who's supposed to have constant everyday access to sex and everyday access to different women. That's who, not just anyone. That's who's supposed to pass their lineage. But this was the talk for today. Like, women really don't know who men are, and men know who women are, okay? Women don't know the male brain, like, at all. Like, in no shape, in no which way or form do they know the male brain and what it was really made for. Like, men have an insatiability in their sex drive that doesn't allow them to look at just one woman for all of life. That's not what it was designed for at all. And males most of the time are playing pretend, like they're playing pretend. Let's pretend, I'm your faithful husband, but in their brain they're fighting insane levels of testosterone that no woman is able to know what that's like. Like, they're fighting every day insane levels of testosterone and fighting not cheating on their wife. So this is what it is. This is the nature that we live in. This is the reality. And the more women start waking up to this more and more, maybe something can be done about this. Maybe, they will start chopping off the balls. Just saying. Anyway, this was the video for today. I hope you liked it. I don't care if you didn't like it. Stuff needs to be said. Stuff needs to be brought up. I don't really care if you liked it or not. I will leave the links down below of whatever you want to look up. And that was the talk for today. Bye.
For a man, that all of the work that men have to do just to, first of all, testosterone by itself causes men to have a bunch of crazy ass thoughts that don't even go through women's head. And by integrating them into society, basically trying to domesticate men, men are forced to try to control the effects of testosterone, which is a lot of damn work in and of itself. Then they have to try to meet society's expectations, which is something else, because everything that society tells men that they have to be is literally against the male's nature, right? You're telling him that he has to be emotionally inexpressive, emotionally stoic, and act like he don't have no feelings, to appear that he's this strong person, and if he doesn't, then he's weak and all of that. And men have fragile egos. So when you put all this pressure on them, make them control their sex urges, then they're without sex because sex is a primary male need that is going unmet for a lot of them. So they're having to do this, and then you keep women totally out of the knowledge of males' deficiencies. And so since women don't know how deficient and fragile men are on so many levels, the woman is expecting him to do things that are totally against his nature, adding additional pressure onto him. And so, because they got all this pressure, men are literally crumbling. They're getting violent because of this, because men are emotionally reactive. They are not emotionally expressive. A lot of men have deficits and deficiencies that nobody is really focusing on and letting the other party know about.
100% agree. 100% agree.
What you're really describing when you say that, you're describing sexual conflict, which is a biologically wired inverse relationship between males and females. It literally is a V, okay? And so in order to sustain a heterosexual relationship, they both have to go totally against their nature. And when you,
it's hard.
Yes.
For a man to go the emotional route, like you were just describing with a woman, the things that a woman needs, that emotion, that is completely. That is soft dick, 100%. I'm talking, it's soft dick.
In directing men.
Nice.
And you can only do that with understanding male psychology. Wow. Too many women do not understand male psychology, right? And men are not going to be forthright with that, because that's a power for them to maintain. Wow. But when they keep this gray area and this door closed, it actually creates too many problems that we all have to try to clean up.
Okay.
Right? Because through women's self-discipline comes a reduction of birth and children that nobody cares about.
Understood.
When women are focused on self and community, we have more women who actually care about their behavior and their impact and how it affects the children in the community, how it affects other people in the community, right? Because Houston, Texas is a #1 hub for sex trafficking.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
If we had more people who actually cared about themselves, who love themselves, because once you love self, you're able to understand other people's suffering, and you don't intentionally bring children into a world where you know that they're going to suffer, and you don't have the energy to disperse amongst a large group of children when it's only coming from yourself.
Understood.
So for every child that you have, the lower your energy levels go, and the less energy that you can give to each child. And once you have that, somebody's going to get left out. And so this is a part of why teens run away. And when teens run away, they're left vulnerable for predators to catch.
Understood.
If we heal that within women, that problem goes away. Because a lot of these children are born out of women seeking love and validation.
Okay.
A lot of these children are born out of self-deprecation. When we heal that in a woman, we heal the future of another soul.
Yeah.
Right? So this is critical for women to get, because it'll transform the entire world.
I understand that.